Dee, how's the new face?
I'm going to give you an inhale.
Oh, crystal clear.
It is insane. So, I had the surgery Monday. Wednesday, they take the gauze out of your nose. And he goes,
Yeah.
all right, go. Take a deep breath. And I was like, what? And it's like, I haven't had oxygen in my brain in 35 years.
No way. It's totally
Can you
different.
imagine how big of a genius I must be with no oxygen?
Right. You've been operating on essentially being choked out while trying to think. Maybe you're actually going to just be like twice as much of an idiot.
I go the other way.
Maybe like the obnoxiousness is just going to get turned up. Maybe it kind of kept you a little subdued.
I just couldn't believe. So I'll give you the recap of the experience. Went Monday morning. Wife took me, went in, they ice your nose 45 minutes leading up to the surgery, put an IV, then they put the anesthesia, and then you wake up. And you have gauze in your nose. So I got there around 9 and I exited at 12:31, I think.
That's really good. Yeah.
And I got home and immediately went to, just passed out. I was so tired. And woke up, and the issue really was that the gauze in your nose makes it so that you have to completely breathe through your mouth.
Right.
So it's a bit uncomfortable. You can't touch your nose. You can't pick at it. If it's if you feel uncomfortable, you can't touch it. And they give you some ointment and stuff like that to put around. But the 48 hours from surgery to when you get the gauze out is not painful, just uncomfortable. Just uncomfortable.
Like pressure?
Yeah, it just feels like you're kind of it's I don't know, it's hard to breathe because the gauze is so up your nose. And so and then you could, it's bloody, it's tender. But
not really painful, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was painful. It was just uncomfortable. And then I would say, but the second day, by Tuesday night, I was just irritated. I was like, gotta get this fucking thing out. And so I ended up just going to sleep early, waking up early, and getting to the doctor early, before 7 a.m. And, within 5 minutes of getting there, they take it out. And then they give you some stuff for the inflammation, arnica and apricot oil and some creams. And basically since then, my nose is tender, but I have no bruises, which is crazy.
Yeah, and your nose looks good. No swelling, no big nose, fear.
Yeah, it is a little big nose. My son goes, damn, your nose looks big.
Damn. Yeah, they have no filter. The kids.
So everyone else is like, oh my God, you look so good. And the 8-year-old just pops me in the face with, damn, your nose looks big.
Yeah, they don't have a filter, man. But what did they say? That's just a little swelling that'll go down.
Yeah, it should go down. It definitely feels a little inflamed still, and but yeah, I mean, I would say that the biggest challenge the last couple of days is I don't know how to breathe through my nose.
Really?
Exactly. I literally I was walking. I was walking yesterday, and I was out of breath. And I was like, how am I out of breath? And I'm just not breathing through my nose.
That's funny. Yeah. Cause I'm guessing I probably do the same. I have a pretty serious deviated septum too. It sounds like yours was a little worse, but from everyone that I've heard, it just seems like it's a whole new airway. I mean, obviously that is what it is, but I wonder how it's going to affect your running. I can't wait to hear about once you relearn how to breathe through your nose.
Next weekend, I will definitely go on my first run. I'm dying to see. I'm also curious how it affects my allergies.
Yeah.
Because I have pretty bad allergies. So it was definitely it's very interesting. Obviously, because I've talked about it on the pod and I told everyone that I know that I was getting a nose job. It's amazing how many people have adult males have asked me about it. And should I do it? Right. And these are pretty well informed that go to doctors, healthy people. but I
Yeah.
think there's just like something that has precluded people from getting it done. Because surgery is
Yeah.
surgery. It's always scary. But I mean, man, it's a pretty easy process. So shout out to Dr. Deepak Dugar. Unbelievable. That's why he gets paid the big bucks in Beverly Hills.
Right. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll speak for myself. I think even like that's why I'm so curious about your experience. And it's so cool to hear how you feel right now, because it just feels like really fucking annoying. And like,
Yeah.
I've heard,
But it's like, it's a days of annoyment, right? It's not life.
right. But I feel like maybe Deepak is just so good, but also I guess maybe things have progressed. But like I have always heard it's a really painful surgery, and that, the next few days are really painful. And I've just heard like, kind of horror stories a little bit. And so it's not as much, I don't know, it just feels, I think when you're used to walking around the world with a deviated septum, you don't realize what you're missing. And so to go get a surgery, you just feel like, hey, is it really worth it? Because like I can deal with this wonky nose I got,
Yeah, I agree. I think I get why people are reluctant about it, but so far, highly recommend hitting up Deepak and really just I'm expecting life-changing breathing experience. I'm very optimistic.
I think you'll get it. I think you'll get it. And like I said, I'm really curious about running. And then, you're right, allergies. Because I even notice like where I notice it the most is like when I do my boxing stuff and you wear like a mouthpiece, like the whole thing is you're supposed to breathe through your nose to like keep your heart rate low. Like once you start breathing out of your mouth, that's how you know someone's tired. But I can't, especially with a mouthpiece in, my mouth is wide open from second number one because my nose is no good. That's so good. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Very happy for your new face. I can't wait to see what it does to your brain. Yeah, we'll say brain. What it does to your podcast personality. I think either you'll be a super genius or you'll just be really, rambunctious.
I'm excited to see where I play out.
Yeah, where this takes your public persona. Okay, well, congrats. Glad you're better.
Thank you.
Glad it went well.
Thank you.
Okay, this feels insane that we haven't done a fucking episode of the podcast since this Charlie Kirk situation.
I mean, talk about a very intense, insane week.
Oh, insane week, but it feels, I guess it already feels like, maybe it's just because it's so much and it's also like such an insane moment, but I don't know, it's just crazy that we haven't talked about it on the podcast yet. When we were getting ready to film this episode, I was like, oh my God, we haven't even talked since that happened. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I don't need to do like a full tee up of what it is, but this Charlie Kirk assassination, what day was that happened? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
I think Tuesday.
So, I guess I'll just say this, it popped up in our group chat. Charlie Kirk shot. So you're like, that seems a little wild, but in my head, I don't know how you felt. I pictured like crazy sort of gunman with a pistol storming up and like letting off a couple shots and one caught him in the arm, right? That's what I pictured. And so I pictured like, wow, truly crazy moment. But man, did I not picture. So of course, the first thing I did, which now I would say I regret, is went on Twitter. And, instantly there was a relatively far away video of Charlie being shot. And I would say my first reaction from that video was like, doesn't look good. Like I'm no expert, but just the way that he reacted did not look good. And and so, but still I would say like hope, right? That the situation could end up being not a complete and utter tragedy. Then a couple scrolls down, there's a closer video. That's the video that I honestly wish I never would have watched. I didn't know there was nothing from the first video that looked that like gory. And so I let it play. Did you watch that video?
Yes. When I
Okay.
saw that, I was like, oh my God, he's dead.
So I saw that and it was like, oh, yeah, exactly. There's no way anyone survives that. And just brutal, man. I don't know. I personally don't like I don't really even watch like scary movies and stuff. I don't watch like war, videos from Ukraine and stuff like that. I just do not. But man, still can't even quite wrap my head around it. So here we are now, 5 days later or whatever. And I don't even know. I don't have like a take here. My only take today is just so bad in every way. Like obviously bad on a human level, that no matter how you feel, this guy is a father and a husband and a son and all that stuff, of course. But like, man, is it bad for like the country and humanity. And the only thing that I do know is like, at the end of the day, no matter how you felt about this guy, he wasn't like violent. He wasn't belittling. Like he wasn't attacking. He literally is one of the only people in a day and age where on social media, anyone can say anything or attack any group or say their opinion, and then they can like shut off their phone. He would actually go to look face to face with people and have conversations. He would say his opinion and he would hear the other person's. And the fact that that person was so brutally executed, I don't think most people, maybe they do, but I don't think they grasp how completely terrible this moment is. That's my only take. What do you think?
I think it's incredibly sad, first and foremost.
Yeah.
Mainly because someone was murdered, kind of acting in something that we pride ourselves as a country on, which is free speech.
Right.
And, we've said this on this podcast, free speech is great, but there are consequences with free speech, but it never meant violent. And I think the piece that got completely out of control, and it's really a function of the temperature of the world right now, is folks think they can take things into their own hand and are forgetting about the process that a democratic country like the United States has that allows you to enact change. And you don't, I think a lot of, there's a portion of the population that did not like him. Like they vehemently did not like him and disagreed with him. And I think there are a lot of people that liked him and supported him. I think he, and this is me objectively saying this, I think he had a major impact on young people in America. Yeah. And I think one of the reasons why this situation is tragic for a lot of people, not saying for everyone, but for a lot of people, is he was a very religious man. And I said this half jokingly at the beginning of the year, and I said that Jesus Christ is back, and as one of my predictions, and I saw that happening because I felt a lot of young people the last couple of years have felt lost, a bit hopeless, and there's two paths when you're lost and hopeless. There's one path where there's community, and actually, I'm going to strike that. I'm going to say there's one path where you find hope, and you may find that with friends, family, religion, a job, a passion, and there's other times when you don't have hope, you find despair. But in both times, you find community. And in the case of the shooter, he found community. It just so happened to be on Discord with people that opposed this view, and he had found it upon himself to like act on it. Obviously, this is still a lot of it's still speculation, but those are some of the things that have come out of like the shooter. And so I think the thing that's affected a lot of people, and I've spoken, I was actually, obviously I know who he is and I saw his videos, and I think during 2020, he got under my skin a lot because it felt like he was race baiting. And then when I actually listened to what he said, I was like, okay, I get it. He comes off a bit arrogant, but he's an intellect. He is a good kind of debater, and he's willing to go toe to toe with all these kids, which, I mean, who the fuck wants to do that? And so, people don't agree with everything he said, but he was out there in the streets having the conversations. And I think the part that I find, the thing that I think connected with a lot of people is that for some people, he did represent hope. He did represent opportunity. And I'm gonna, this was more news to me during this whole week, was I couldn't believe how many of my friends thought he was going to be the next president.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking very smart, successful, pretty like objective thinkers.
Yeah.
Were like, he had what it took to be president. Like, I thought he was going to be president of the United States in the next 20 years. And so that, I think, with the fact that like you saw this shift of conservatism going in the country, specifically with young people, I think had a pretty big impact on what you're seeing today on college campuses, what you're seeing in group chats. I can't tell you how many churches all over the country had like a vigil, a mass this weekend about this. So I think it had a pretty profound effect on a lot of people.
Yeah, man. I also think that there's, maybe I'm getting a little too deep into it now, but this is just how I feel, to be honest, is like, I think there were some things. I think one thing that is truly terrible about it is, for instance, like if somebody would have shot him, like walking down the street in New York, right? I think that would have been almost equally as terrible. But the thing that I think is really bad is he was doing it. He was the visual is he was sitting in a chair. He had a bunch of people ready to debate him. And this kid he had the opportunity to walk up and have a conversation. But instead, he brutally murdered him from very far away. And it's just this, like, it's literally the anti-conversation, the anti-free speech. It's that, like, hey, while you're talking and trying to work out ideas, I'm going to snuff you out from so far away. And I would never, I don't have the confidence or the whatever it is to come up and have the conversation. And I just think there's a visual, there's a thing about it that to me is like, damn, like you literally not only killed the debate guy, the only guy that goes around the country talking to anyone, but you killed him while he was doing it.
Yeah.
Which is just like, oh, dude, I just, and keep in mind I guess I shouldn't even say this because who the fuck cares? It's like, it's not that I was his biggest fan, but I am a huge fan of what he stood for. And I wish that there was a person from every belief system that would go around to colleges and have open debates. I would watch those videos on TikTok all day long if people did that. Because
I think he did start a trend, because there are a few people now, like the old MSNBC guys doing it, that other guy, Patrick, Bet David is doing it. Like,
Right.
I think he did start a moment, and I think,
Yeah.
and despite what happened, I think that movement is going to explode.
Yeah.
I don't think
I
it's
have an
going to
idea.
Okay.
I have an idea that hopefully like one of our agent listener friends or someone will take and run with, or J Cal, this would be great for you. I think somebody should put together, like, let's say once a year, whoever the leading on all sides, this is going to have to be really, maybe there's votes, maybe whatever, a big panel of, less debaters, for lack of a better word, right? The people who are educated in these different fields, to like on Netflix have the debate of the year.
Yeah.
Here's the 6 topics. It's all the biggest issues. It's war, it's Israel, it's this, it's trans issues. It's here's the 6 issues we're going to address this year. Here are our brightest minds, and here they are debating for, however long on Netflix. It's like a Super Bowl type moment. You can dedicate it to Charlie Kirk. And I just think, I think people are really hungry. Like the reaction from Charlie Kirk shows that people are hungry to just hear ideas be talked out. And even though there's a small, very evil group that doesn't want to hear that, they would rather just kill somebody. I think obviously the majority wants to hear it talked out. Even though I didn't agree with a lot of Charlie Kirk's complete ideas, I liked hearing him defend them because it made me think like, okay, I can't, I just think there's an appetite for that, and someone should put it on a big stage.
I
Let
think
Dana White
you're
produce it, like make it big and exciting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think we're probably at like a great place to do something like that, because following the Charlie Kirk assassination, I mean, I don't know if you were on X, but I was kind of glued to X the night out. I was home that night.
I left the moment I saw the bad video and never fucking.
Okay, so I was attached to the hip of it, and what I saw was, which now got proven by the FBI, I was like, oh, this is all fake outrage. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
I saw fake support and fake outrage. And I realized quickly that these are bad actors. And it came out that Chinese and Russian bots were flooding social media, trying to sway public opinion. Because chaos is good for business for the Chinese and the Russians.
Big time.
And so, it's one of those things. Do you remember when the whole ICE migrant thing broke out in LA and downtown? And for a week there was protest and some, uproar, and then it just went away. And
went away
people
completely.
And I remember when I got, pretty nasty DMs when I said the whole thing was fucking fake.
Yeah, me
because
too.
it was gone. It wasn't real. It was manufactured by paid actors to create this. I think the first 3 days was real. I don't think the 7th day was. I think the 7th day was like, let's just keep agitating the situation to get national news.
The problem is, I think they're so good at it's so blurry, because if you start a protest, to me, it reminds me of those videos that people do that are like YouTube pranks, where you show up to a mall and you act like someone's famous, and all of a sudden everyone starts taking their photo. Like if you start a protest or a riot or whatever, people are going to join it. And now it's a blend between, is it real or fake? It's a agent provocateur type of situation. It's like, it's really easy, I think, to start it. And then it becomes a blurry line of, is it real or is it fake? But I think people are so hungry. Like, imagine Netflix, the 2025 debate, and it's Charlie Kirk and someone on the other side, like, if he would have led it at the time, because he was so good at it. But whoever the modern day people are on all sides, and it's this big, exciting moment. I think people are hungry to just hear people talk out ideas. And I think that instead what we have is like essentially the left media and the right media just villainizing the other and saying their case in a bubble. There's no actual debate happening. And man, I think some of these intellectuals are like rock stars now on social media.
I'm going to give you some predictions of what I think happens next. I actually think young people that are intellectual on the left and right are going to engage in a lot more discussion.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, but is it Senk, who's from the Young Turks? Who's
Yeah. Yeah.
he's actually been, and he's like a pretty progressive left guy.
Yeah.
He's actually been incredible this week, just following him and hearing him talk and really being like, I don't know, like a grown up, in my opinion,
Right.
on like what he said, how he's handled it. So I think he's a great example of someone on the left that like should engage in the discussion that could change a lot of people's opinion.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of opportunity on folks like Ben Shapiro to probably waive some of their pettiness and really step up here and find a voice. Because I think there's the other angle, which I do not like, which is like what Stephen Miller is kind of provoking, which is like, this is war.
I know.
Which
It's
I
so
don't.
bad.
I think that's really bad and unhealthy for the country. But I do think the other big thing that I'm witnessing is I think a lot of people that were like pretty moderate are starting to lean right. And I think like it, I don't know what the intention of the shooter was. Like, he obviously hated him for what he said and what he believed, but he may have just given him 10x the power.
Yeah, I'm sure he did 100%. And I think his intention was like, look, the kid wrote like meme sayings on the bullets. Like, it's these like, oh, it's so bad, man. It reminds me of after 9/11, how they always talked about people getting radicalized to join Al Qaeda on the internet. And I was like, damn,
which
that
sounded
is crazy
at that time. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, I guess you could like, be kind of lost and trickle into some weird message board. And all of a sudden you fly over to wherever and, you decide what, and like, wow, that's so scary and dark. And now that's happening just right in front of our face. I think this kid, this is 100% speculation, but just from what I've seen is, you're just so angry and you've been told over and over that all these people are fascists and Hitler and all this stuff. Like, let me tell you what fascists don't do. Go give the other person a microphone in a public space. It's just like, come on, dude, we got to stop with this crazy language, because these people are getting radicalized the same way we were scared of in 2001. And they're actually going through with it now. And I don't think the sad thing is, and this is once again just my take, I actually don't think there's anything more to it than that. I think this is a kid.
You don't believe any of the conspiracies, is your point?
Well, not only do I not, to be honest, and I love a good conspiracy, and maybe I'll see some stuff that'll change my mind, but not only do I not, I think that to start to go down that road actually discredits how dangerous this stuff just is. Like, the current climate, I think, is so fucking dangerous, man. You can't tell everyone that you can't use words like fascist and Hitler and over and over and over. We're nowhere close. We are nowhere close to fascism or Hitler. We aren't.
Yeah.
And I, in 2016, I believed the hype. I thought we were headed for some weird fascism. And then after Trump got out of office and I watched him walk out of the White House and shake Joe Biden's hand and take off in a helicopter like every other president has, I was like, damn, I got duped.
Yeah.
And I felt stressed and I felt like scared for no reason. Nothing happened. But they keep doing it. And I think if you're a lost kid and you've go down the wrong, I think it can be just that. I don't think it needs a conspiracy, which is even more scary.
Yes. I actually, I was talking to someone that has like hunted in the past, not like a hunter by any stretch of the imagination, but has hunted once. And basically said, I was like, I don't understand. Can anyone just hit something from like 200 yards?
Oh,
and
easy.
And he was like, yeah, like the people I hunt with can like kill a deer with a scope pretty easily.
Easy. And I would argue one of the signs is like, I think that he missed, meaning like, I think that if you're shooting, you're going to aim for the head. He hit him sort of in the neck and the chest, and that's even not understanding like how a bullet would drop from a downward angle. From so like it's not like literally. I could say, "Hey D, here's a gun. There's a target 200 yards away. Hit the human shaped thing," and you would do it first try. Very easy.
No way.
Absolutely.
That's crazy.
You would be mind blown. So easy. I'm telling you, man. It's not, I think if you don't know anything about guns, you look at that and you're like, oh my God, Israel. It must have been a Mossad sniper. It must have been, they were in helicopters. There's no way. The scary thing is
not doing it in public, just so you know.
Right. But it's not, it would blow your mind how easy. I would argue that shot is easier than shooting someone with a pistol from 30 feet.
Wow. That's scarier then.
Yeah, like I think you could probably hit a smaller target with a scope and a rifle than you could with a pistol. Anyway, man, it is so bad. And I think the craziest thing too that you kind of alluded to is, and I see how you could fall into this trap. Like a lot of the people on the right are saying this is war. And also the thing that's one of the most disgusting and scary and just sad things is like the amount of people on the left kind of, well, some full on celebrating, some even a lot just kind of like not being affected by it. So, like, oh yeah, they even kind of alluded on some of the news to like, well, when you have these wild perspectives, and like, dude,
my gut tells me that if you polled 100 left people, 90 would be sympathetic. I think the 10 are the loudest.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. I think it actually might even be less than 10. But I think the fact that like they are loud, like that just turns more people.
Yeah.
Like most people on the left don't think we're entering fascism, but enough do, and they're loud enough about it that it radicalizes this little kid.
So I have a couple thoughts that I wanted to touch on. One was, as a parent, the thing that is the most scary is this boy seems like he came from like a pretty good family. Like mom and dad are there, seem to be religious, jobs. They were, top student. And it is really scary, the internet. It is very scary as a parent. And, it was interesting. My oldest had soccer and football today, and he played really well. And I guess my wife was talking to one of the parents, and they were like, "Oh yeah, whatever the kid's name is, really likes Roblox and video games and things like that." And then like Haley doesn't even really know what that is. Like she knows it's like video, and she was like, "Oh, okay. Dominic doesn't really do that." And, like one of the parents kind of said, half jokingly, like, "Oh yeah, I assumed that." And I don't know if it was meant to be a dig or a compliment. I don't know. Right. But it is scary. So he plays 10U soccer. He's 8 years old. I don't know if you're 8, 9, or 10 years old that you should be on an ecosystem where people can talk to each other.
Not sort of like an unfiltered one.
I mean, I don't know if there's any other form. I don't think there is a filtered chat.
I agree. I agree.
And
I don't think so.
I think like, there was that show on Netflix that everyone a lot of parents watch called Adolescence. And they were making it about how young males have been radicalized by these right-wing guys like Andrew Tate and blah, 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 blah. And I think we have to like keep our eyes open that like, it's not only right-wing people that are radicalizing children. There are plenty of left-wing people also radicalizing children.
Oh, bro, keep going. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, and my concern is more of the social media impact on our youth, like the genie's out of the bottle,
Yeah.
and I have no idea how you put it back. I don't think you can.
Right. And look, I mean, I would also be curious, even going the next step is like, we're seeing like AI induced psychosis. And like, I would be curious to know, just out of curiosity, I'm not trying to make a direct point, but like, did this guy go on ChatGPT and have a conversation about how to use a sniper rifle? Because Sam Altman gave some crazy statistic the other day that like, I don't know, 12% or something of the people that are committing suicide in the country are using ChatGPT first to like get tips. There's some stat, I don't know the number, but it's a wild number. And so like the fact that you can then go on and learn, like how to do all this stuff. And I just got to say, because once again, I would consider myself not, on the right, but I would more consider myself a very, very, very angry lifelong Democrat that's kind of lost, like no party, is like, we've heard for so long about domestic terrorism is the biggest threat. That's what Biden said. The biggest threat facing our country, and the manosphere and Andrew Tate and radicalization. And like, I don't know, man, we've seen a lot of violence from the other side with internet beliefs. That shooting at the church that just happened with the inscriptions on the gun and the, like, I don't know, man. I don't, maybe I'm wrong. I'm willing to be wrong, but like, show me the Andrew Tate inspired shooter. I think that guy's just a bro in the fucking gym being kind of a douchebag trying to hit on girls. I don't think he's assassinating people.
I think he's more of just a piece of shit.
I think he's just a douchebag and he's just loading up on protein and trying to hit on chicks. I don't know. I just haven't heard of the shooter with Andrew Tate words inscribed on his magazine. And it's just like, dude, are you guys telling us over and over that one side is radicalizing people while meanwhile you're the ones actually like getting the results? I don't know that you can tell people over and over that these people are evil and fascist and hateful and they want to kill trans people and they want to blah, blah, blah without getting these type of results.
Yeah, I think I agree. And I think coming out of 2020 and the George Floyd kind of protest, the words that were used, and this is why I knew Trump was going to win and I knew that culture was going to shift dramatically.
Right.
You can't just say crazy shit about groups of people.
I know.
Any group. As soon as you do, the opposite impact happens. And what you're seeing across the world, I don't know if you saw also over the weekend in the UK, there was like a patriot rally of, British nationalists. Yeah. And so everyone wants to say, oh, it's all white, British, Anglo, whatever.
Right.
And I start watching all the videos. So the algorithm feeds me. Bro, there's black people, there's Indian people there. It's not just some like I think people are conflating like race and patriotism and kind of some of these things in the way they believe that like there's just like I even on the Charlie Kirk thing, I would assume if I were to guess, Charlie Kirk has no black friends, just judging by his topics. Like
but Charlie Kirk has like a Turning Point has a wherever they're based in Arizona or whatever, they have like a black jobs program thing, like close friends, maybe not, but they actually do.
No, but that's what I found the opposite of over the weekend.
Right. You're saying that was your assumption and then you looked into it and this is what you found.
Yeah, I assume he hangs out with Stephen Miller at the barbecue on the weekends, right? Like that's, I assume, this crowd. But in fact, it was story after story of people of color that said like, because of my faith, I connected with Charlie and he had an impact on my life. And they're like standing
Yes.
up for him. And there was a lot of people that came out and spoke like that. And I think too many people are just like, even listening to this podcast, right? There's a lot of liberal people that listen. They're going to be like, fuck this guys, fuck what they're saying. I'm
Yeah,
not
we'll get
listening to this shit.
DMs. We'll
Right.
get some
Right.
DMs about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that attitude is like whether you like it or not, like this is going to affect the midterms, right? Like the midterms are going red.
Massively. I
It's
think
going
so
red.
many people. Yes.
Yeah. And
Let me
like,
tell you another thing that pisses me off. I'm way out of my zone here, so fucking sorry. But like, I think, especially from talking to some of my friends of all different races and things, is like the fact that conservatism is looked at as a white only thing is actually kind of offensive to black conservatives. And there's plenty of black conservatives that are like, hey, I just believe in like, the nuclear family and faith and, all of these different things. And like to say that that is only a white thing is like weirdly racist in its own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is why I think you saw some of the numbers of black and Latino voters sway in Trump's favor in the last election. Because I think that there's a lot of people that are like, hey, wait a minute. We're not like a one, caricature of this liberal, thing that you think all black people are. I think that alone is a race, a tricky opinion.
Yeah. And I think I'm really curious to see how the next couple months play out in terms of like, how the public reacts to it. Watching sports over the weekend, there was a lot of like public support. And just
I think
kind
a
of
lot
like
of
general
people go red.
Yeah. I think people are underestimating how much of this country still has like underlying Christian values, and that is going to be apparent in voting in the next couple years after this.
Right.
And I'm also nervous for some of the rhetoric that will come out of the right that will just inflame the situation. But if you can remain calm and not say crazy shit, you actually could be in a better place for the country. Because I think it will hopefully tone down some of the people that are constantly pushing this narrative of Nazi, fascist. I think people like forget when you call people Hitler. I mean,
Dude.
if you've called anyone a Hitler in your life, you should really Google Hitler and read the Wikipedia. If you don't want to watch.
You're talking about if you, meaning like a regular person have ever called anyone Hitler. Yes, agreed. I'm saying it has been our politicians. It has been magazine covers with Trump's face with a Hitler mustache. It has been like, it is so wildly irresponsible. I remember there's sort of like a little game that people play that says, hey, normal person, you're not a murderer, but if you could go back in time and you ran into 6-year-old Hitler, would you kill him? And the answer is usually yes. Now, if you tell people over and over that all these people are Hitler, they think they're the good guy.
Yeah.
They think that they're saving the future of the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, bro, you're talking about a guy, a freaking political content it's not Hitler. It's not even fucking close. It's actually, this is the funny thing. Fascism, the fascist is the one who kills the one debating, not the debater.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy about it. But they have these people convinced that you're standing up against fascism by silencing the free speech person. It's like, what the fuck? Here's the other thing. This is my one of my last points is like, I do got to say, we've been pretty outspoken about it for a while on here, but man, if you're China and you own TikTok, and I think a lot of this shit happened on TikTok, you're like, we're causing our chaos.
Yeah, I agree. And, I look at, social media to me, bad place.
It's like, a scary place, man. Did
It's
you
scary place and
read the
like,
bullets? What was on the bullets?
yeah, what is it?
It's like
OWO.
meme bullshit.
Yeah.
OWO, I'm not going to make the noise. It's a noise. It's a really corny fucking incel meme bullshit. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
And the fact that that's what this motherfucker is writing on bullets, and somehow that blends like the what we've always known as like the incel in the basement blends to an actual assassin.
Yeah.
In real life, not on Call of Duty, is just absurd.
Well, it also shows that like we look at so much of the advancements in society around AI and robotics that's happening in real time. And at the
Yeah.
same time, some kid gets radicalized in a Discord chat and puts a meme to assassinate a public figure, which is like going the other way.
I know that's kind of my point why I'm not so bullish on AI. You know, like once again, think about when the internet was created and we're like, oh my God, like the world's information, every library, everything, you can connect with anyone around the world. What this is going to change. And like, well, instead you're like getting fucking radicalized by memes in Discord. Like,
so we said this probably 2 years ago when the whole chat GPT thing started picking up. We didn't have the proper regulations or the mindset or the people to regulate the usage of the internet and then social media.
Yeah.
We didn't have the right people in position of power.
Right.
I actually believe we have the right people in office to regulate it. I don't know if they'll actually do it.
Right.
Like, I don't know if
they're competent enough to get it done, or like, what do you mean? Like, meaning like David Sachs is in there, they have good relationships.
I think David Sachs is sitting in whatever, Don Jr.'s private club is called with Chamath, Sam Altman, Alex Wang from Scale. I mean, he's sitting with these people. They're chugging back tequila.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the future in a way that we can't understand. Ben Horowitz, Mark Andreessen. Mark Andreessen has been very vocal about all this stuff.
Yeah.
They know all the risks that are ahead. They know it better than anyone. Are they going to do anything about it? Or are they going to let capitalists be capitalist? Everyone makes a fuckload of money and a bunch of people get fucked along the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my quick take is that I don't think it's possible. Like, I don't think it's possible. I think that like it's too, at least right now, I think it's too competitive. They're too worried about what China's doing. It's too unknown. Like, I just don't know, man. I think that it's literally the responsibility of every household and every individual and every parent. And you got to take it down to that level, because I don't know that you can trust. Look, how long has the internet been around? And people can still get radicalized in a Discord by memes.
Yeah.
Like, what could you have done from a law perspective or a regulation perspective to stop that Discord and these memes? I just don't know. I think it's.
I don't think you could have stopped the Discord, but what happens if we said you can't join Discord till you're 18 years old?
Right, but he's 22.
I'm just saying, but like he's probably been on Discord since he was 12.
Right. Right.
Like,
but, I hear you.
I don't know. I'm like, you're not allowed to go buy liquor till you're 21. You can't rent a car. 25.
I know, but can't you guys just get around it? Like with liquor, you have to like, be in person and show a thing. Like, can't you just get around? Like, how could you? I don't know technically how you could.
You can rent a car. Of course, there's ways to rent a car under 25.
Well, no. I mean, what I'm saying is like, I don't know technically how you could keep people out of Discord, because they could just lie, or they could take their mom's ID when they're gone, or they could.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know all the things that you could do to block it, but my point is that if you are bullish that AI and robotics are going to have a profound impact on humanity, good or bad, and all the risks, unlike the internet, I don't think we knew the risks of the internet.
Right. I agree.
Maybe. I had no idea, but I don't know
if
if
when it started, no chance.
I think we have a pretty good chance that like some random dude's going to be able to control a drone that could kill 5,000 people. Like we
Yeah.
know that. What are we doing
Yeah.
about it?
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I'm with you. And once again,
So
look, you and I are very big in the optimism camp. I think it will be fine, but I think that, look, it's a net positive. Like, would I still say the internet is a net positive? Of course.
yeah,
But it's just, there are these things that, once again, that's why I think my take today is, look, the internet's a net positive. I think it's too hard technically to police too much. I think that there's full things like the dark web and, whatever the new version of the Silk Road is. And there are people doing heinous things online that we're not able to, child trafficking and all sorts of shit. I think that there's a huge responsibility on the individual and the household and look, I don't know. That family looked really happy from the couple pictures that I've seen on the news, but I have no clue. And at the same time, this guy's an adult. It's not necessarily his parents' fault anymore, if he doesn't live with them. But I just think personal responsibility has never been more important. And I think it also might be lacking more than ever.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the problem is like, when all of these things happen, we are quick to blame technology. We're Discord. We're radicalizing. Like, he's 22, but like, what onus does the parent have? Did they have an impact on this?
100%. I'm curious.
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know if the dad wasn't more right wing and the kid was more left wing and he was mad at his dad. And so you have no idea.
I mean, my wife sends me all these Instagram accounts where it says like, here are 10 things fathers should not do in front of their kids,
Like what? What are some examples?
Like put other people down.
Oh, right.
How do you handle conflict?
Yeah.
How do you handle, like, it's like situations that your kids view you and like how you respond to it. Do you treat people with respect who have nothing that they can do for you?
Right.
Like, those are important things that like specifically young boys are very influenced on, right?
Yeah.
Like respect, courtesy, kindness, these types of things. So like, I find it hard to believe when perfect angel kids end up to be killers.
Right. But yeah, right. I don't know, man.
It's scary.
Well, look, at the end of the day, I still don't really have like a solid take, even though we just talked for an hour about it. But like, I just know without a doubt, it is so bad. And I think the reason why I think this was uniquely terrible is like, once again, he wasn't violent. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't some sort of fighter. He wasn't belittling and attacking people. He also wasn't, even though one day he might have, he wasn't running for office. So like, I even think in some ways, someone trying to assassinate Trump was like almost a little, like it was more expected, like he was potentially going to be the next president, where Charlie was just a guy debating and for as far as public persona. And man, I don't care where you stand. And like I said, it's not that I was the biggest fan. I enjoyed watching the perspectives. He did like a 20v1 on Jubilee of like, whatever their side was versus his side. And I thought it was really interesting. I thought both sides had great info, but like, oh, it's the reason it's the first of all of our amendments. It's like, it's the thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And
that is literally what the country is fundamentally based on.
But for a reason, man. Like, I don't want to get too weird here, but like the guys, the people who fucking made the document they didn't just chat GPT some stuff and throw it in a document. It was like, we are leaving a bad government. We need to create a new one. And here is the brightest minds thinking what would avoid those problems. And the first one was, you have to be able to talk about anything openly in the open and debate it.
Yeah.
And holy shit, man, it's just bad. And it's bad that this kid can be radicalized. It's bad that other kids are celebrating. I mean, I would definitely say any parent of like teenage or, whatever young people check their fucking social media and see what their take is on this shit. Because if they're like supporting murder, brutal, vicious execution, there's a red flag for you. I feel bad for those people. How miserable do you have to be that you have no longer like you celebrate brutal fucking murder?
Yeah. It's
fuck, dude. It's hard not to. I'm an optimistic dude, and no matter what, I'll stay on that side. But this one's been hard for me not to be like, oh, like fuck, that's bad. It's really bad.
And I hope it doesn't deter other people who are very much pro, free speech and pro debate to like hide.
Yeah, I think it'll motivate them. I think you're right.
I do think it's going to motivate too. I'm actually quite optimistic that we're going to actually end up on the other side of this in a better place where like there will be more debate and more conversation. And hopefully that, not talking is the worst thing in a situation like this. So I'm glad that we get to talk, and I'm glad people get to listen. And like, look, at the end of the day, like we've always said this, like, hey, and I think for our listeners, it's particularly interesting because we've gone through, I'm gonna speak for myself, but I've gone through many transformation of opinions over the last near decade, right? Like,
I mean, I went through fucking endless.
And I think like when I look at myself, 8 years ago when we started this pod, 5 years ago when we started this pod, I mean, we're during COVID and what happened during George Floyd, and then, during the last election, and like I'm going through an evolution as an adult, and experiencing things real time. And I think I'm extremely comfortable of sharing my perspective, even though I know that like it changes people's perspective of me, because I'm not afraid of people viewing me differently, but like I've evolved, I've changed, like my opinions have changed, my belief has changed, I've experienced things in a different way that like have made me change the way I view the world. And I'm very comfortable with like other people doing that in whatever direction they go. But this is my opinion.
Yeah.
Which I like that in this country, dude, it's pretty crazy. If you just I'm just gonna speak for myself, but like I was like a champagne socialist when we started this pod. And now I'm kind of like right leaning, person. And it's like, I'm shocked. I'm shocked at the words that I say from where I started.
Right. But isn't that like, man, it's sort of like when you look back at your life.
But I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful because it's beautiful. Because you could do that here.
Right. And number one, we don't even know. It's literally like you just don't know because you're in this system and you've grown up this way. But like, dude, to live in a place where you can't say it and you can't explore your idea or explore your curiosity or speak out and be proven wrong. Like I would say in my life, and I think this goes for a lot of people, but I'll speak for myself. When I look back at the people in my life, like the influences that I am the most grateful for, it's the people who called me on my bullshit.
Yeah.
Or who gave me a different perspective. It's not the people who told me I was always right. And I just think this is a type of version of that, which is that like you should be eternally grateful. You should be open to changing your mind. And you should forget about opinions that don't change your mind and be eternally grateful for ones that do. And help you evolve. And the fact that we can do that out in the open, and you can go on YouTube and watch 5,000 videos criticizing our president or anyone in public office, and you can just see what makes the most sense to you. Like we're so lucky.
Yeah.
Like when you look at like, man, if you live in like North Korea, which I'm going extreme on purpose, but like you're literally like a brainwashed, you're like living by a script, like a Sims character or something. And like the fact that we get to explore and kind of become our fullest self is like such a gift. And man, once again, I think even if you disliked Charlie Kirk, you should be even more devastated by this because he was someone that at least fairly and honestly told you the opinion and tried to like tell you how they think.
Yeah.
And you could get some insight into like, oh, you know what? There's a couple things there that I see how they got to that conclusion, but I don't agree. Okay, great. It's
Yeah.
better than villainizing and saying that they're all white supremacists, white nationalist Nazis. And
Yeah. It's tough.
I just don't see how you could look at it as in any sort of not terribly tragic way. Not to mention just fucking a guy getting so brutally murdered on camera is just insane.
It's just insane.
Like
Look, very sad. Love to see how the country, the world reacts in the coming weeks, months. But yeah, let's do a couple, maybe 2 or 3 news topics on
what do we got? What are your favorites? What are your favorites?
So I want to talk. I'm going to go completely the other way. You ready for this?
Love that. Yes. Let's get out. Yes.
There are 2.5 million people on the wait list for Raya.
That is the polar opposite. Okay, let me jump out into a new mindset.
Okay, so how would you explain Raya to the married folks who don't know what it is?
Okay, Raya is simply a dating app but it has done an incredible job at positioning it. So it's just like any other dating app. You upload your photos, you put a little bio. I would actually say it has less features than like a Hinge or some of these other things. And you like or you dislike, and then you message if you want to. But they have done an incredible job at positioning themselves.
So I think you're underplaying it. Like, you can't just sign up.
No, I'm going to get there.
Okay.
I'm going to get there. I'm saying operationally, it's a super basic dating app.
Yeah.
But they have done an incredible job at sort of manufacturing, I would say, like scarcity as well as aspirational. So the story is it's all models and celebrities and actors and athletes. Now, in today's Raya is not quite that, there's a lot of, just kind of regular people on there, but
gross.
I would say it skews a little, what'd you say? Gross. Yeah, I would say it does still skew a little more like, attractive or successful. And the whole thing is that there's a waiting list. So you sign up, you put in your Instagram profile, you give a little information, and then they put you on an indefinite waiting list until one day you get a notification that you've been approved. And it's like, you're officially accepted into the higher classes. Yeah, it's a monthly subscription.
And so, can I ask you, have you been on any other dating apps? Okay, have you been on any other dating apps?
Only Hinge.
Okay. Does Hinge cost money? I have no idea.
Yes. Okay. Hinge costs money. Okay, so where Raya is more, I guess I could be minorly wrong, but I don't think I am. Raya is just a monthly charge. Hinge is also a monthly charge, but you can pay for like, I'm going to pay for roses and send people roses, or I'm going to pay to see my most perfect matches, or there's all these upsell moments.
Got it. And what would you say has provided more success or delight?
Okay, this is good. I like that question. I would still say Raya, but I don't really use Hinge. Here's what I've heard. So I deleted Hinge. I don't really have it because the whole thing's just soul draining. And so the only one I'm going to have is Raya. And
okay,
but it's been better there. I will say, pardon my take here, because some people might be mad at me for this, but the take that I've heard from other young men using the apps very frequently is that Raya is more like, you'll get hotter matches, but people don't really follow through. They more just want to like see who's there, see if they match with, Jake Gyllenhaal, and then keep it moving. Like no one's really meeting up.
Yeah.
I think Hinge is a little more like hookup-y. Like I know a lot of guys who are like inviting over a new Hinge bae and they're coming through and, they're partying.
So Hinge is where the action is.
What I've heard. I would be honest if I had that if I had that experience, I just can't stand to have both. But yes, I hear that that's where the real action is.
You know what I find fascinating about this is that the last 2 years, all I've been reading about is, and what's interesting is I started dating my wife right when dating apps started, so I never got an experience with any of them. But what's interesting is that all I've been reading is that dating apps are dead. Dating apps are dead. No one goes on them anymore, and that like they're struggling. Right. And then there's one that everyone that I know who's single is on, which is Raya, which is bigger and more popular than ever. And it goes back to what we've been talking on the podcast for a lot recently, which is like everyone wants the best.
Well, that's for sure. And there's a little bit of like, are you going to make it or not? Like, are you accepted?
Yeah.
It's like the club. It's literally the club in Beverly Hills where, this is Delilah, or this is like only the hottest and the most successful are in here. And can I get a reservation?
Yeah. It's
these prices are bananas, dude. Fucking Hinge is $100 every 3 months. And Raya is $50 a month.
Wow.
$50 a month and you have 2.5 million people on a waiting list? That is nuts.
But you know that as soon as you let those 2.5 million on, it's a wrap.
I know, maybe yeah. It's the same as club. I really feel like Raya is the exact same. We know obviously H-Wood Group, and we have a lot of experience of kind of that world of marketing a nightclub. And like, I think it's kind of the same with Raya. Like,
yeah, you got to keep it. And it makes me think every part of society needs its elite club.
Yeah.
Because if everyone wants to go to the best members club, the best dating club, the best soccer club, the best basketball club, whatever it is, you can create a premium experience for whatever you do and make it elite and special, and everyone will want to go there. Like 2.5 million people is fucking nuts.
I mean, I would almost say, I think this is what you're saying, but like, it's not even about like true, like expensiveness or class. It's almost like just everything, every one of these places should think about what like scarcity means to their market.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I mean, because I just think.
I know, but like scarcity is one thing, but like.
Or what would you call it?
Okay. I know the women and men on Raya. I know a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
I get it. Like, I get why people are
right, but like, right. But I'm saying if you were teaching, if you were doing a Harvard class on this, what would you call that?
Yeah. So
elite scarcity.
Give me, yeah, I guess, but like, are good looking people scarcity?
I don't know. I don't even care. I'm not even married. Yes, they are, I guess. But like, I'm not even married to, I'm just asking like from a business perspective, what would you call, that's a thing.
Okay. Yeah, it is a thing. I'm not, my breathing isn't good enough to conjure up what that means.
You're supposed to be a genius now.
I know. I'm not breathing through the nose yet, but give me another industry and I'll give you a comp, and then maybe we'll come there.
Like any other industry?
Yeah, like dating is an industry. So that dating, Raya is the.
Well, I feel like fashion is easy.
Yeah.
Gyms, health and wellness.
Equinox.
Right, but isn't that just a price issue? Isn't it price the only moat? Or not moat,
location.
The only.
Equinox isn't everywhere.
Okay, right. So price and location. Okay. What else? Restaurant, food.
I'm trying to use it in the perspective of like, I don't know if it's scarcity, because it's like somebody is picking you. When you apply to a members club, somebody is allowing you to be in that club. Raya, somebody's allowing you to be on Raya. What is that? God mode?
Permission.
Permission.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't think it's scarcity. I think it's permission experiences.
I agree with you. I don't care about the word scarcity. I just don't have a better word. Like, isn't there a business fucking term for this? Like, it's a tactic. Only hot people wear, like, it's literally, you know what I would give a really good example? Door guy. What I'd give a really good example is when Brandy Melville publicly said they won't make sizes outside of.
They only made one size, yeah.
Right. And that was a move. That was a marketing decision. And so I don't know what you call it. Exclusion?
Yes. Maybe it's exclusion.
Right.
It's the opposite of DEI.
It's the opposite of inclusion. Yeah. I think that's maybe what it is.
Yeah. Well, it's funny is everyone's preaching inclusivity, but the elite want to be in exclusive places. And, you know, it's like the crowd at the Emmys that are screaming, you know, fuck ICE, free Palestine, and then they all go to like a fucking members club to party. They go to Chateau Marmont.
Yeah. Yes. To Jeff Bezos' after party.
And they party till 4 a.m, which is illegal.
Yes.
In Los Angeles. That is the epitome of exclusivity. Like, we get to say and do whatever we want, but we party at the best.
Yeah, I think it's exclusion. I think it's something of like, not everyone is of the you know, they're not of the same caliber as these people.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Because you're right.
Why?
Well, you're right about the catch-22. Raya does have 2.5 million people on the waiting list, but the moment they let those 2.5 million people in, the app no longer has value. It's just another dating app.
I mean, if they're like, they should just do it for 1 month, charge $100, make a few billion, and just shut the app down.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. But props to them, man. I mean, that's...
Talk about the long game, because Raya's been around for a long time.
Long time.
I remember when it was just an LA, New York thing. There was just like the who's who was on it. And then like now it's obviously gone a little bit more. It's very mainstream in awareness. But man.
And I'll tell you too, just some inside info is like, it knows, you know, like I had to go to Minneapolis for work stuff a couple weeks ago. And like, it knows obviously that you're in Minneapolis, and it starts showing you girls in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
You know, when I go visit Ohio, it shows you freaking OSU girls. It's smart. And they're all, you know, like they're hot in every area. You know what I mean? They're excluding a lot of people in every in every area, you know? It's wild.
The last topic on that coattails Raya is Fed decision rate is this week.
Do you know what day?
Gentlemen, if you want to end up on Raya, you got to play this interest rate cut right.
Yep. That's a fact. I mean, so like what? Here's my take. I think should cut 50, will cut 25. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, there's a little bit of political rage with Powell that I actually think 50. I mean, I don't know if you watch that jobs data report where, you know, 1 million jobs kind of disappeared over the last 12 months.
That stuff makes me so mad.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just nothing. It's just any government data is just, you cannot even believe it at all. You have to just take what you hear and what you see. You can't.
And I know why people are screaming you cannot cut interest rates and you cannot cut 50. It's because they're saying inflation. But maybe that's wrong too.
Right. And what are you talking about? Then lower it.
Yeah.
Or
So
then raise it. Like, I'm so confused
yeah.
about why these are like once a year decisions, even though these motherfuckers meet all the time. Why isn't it more dynamic?
I'll tell you the things. I know everyone's very on edge on the economy, and like everyone keeps comparing what's happening today, particularly in the Mag 7, the big 7 companies in the S&P 500 that are all technology companies, to the
Yeah.
1999 2000 bubble that burst. And they keep showing charts and data and blah, blah, blah. There was a piece of data that came out that in Q2 of 2025 alone,
Mm-hmm.
$7 trillion of net worth of US households increased.
I know. What was
$79
that?
billion
What was
a
that?
day.
What is
79
that?
billion. What?
Like, what's the deeper story there? That's just
Just the market. It's just the
people
market
that are
has ripped.
invested. Right.
Yeah, everyone who has their 401ks, things of that nature. Then you look at all the other metrics, whether it's earnings are growing at a pretty fast clip compared to 1999 and 2000. Sales are not there. There's some of the, discrepancies in like 99 and current day that like sales are kind of overvalued, businesses are overvalued to sales. So I think like there's a lot of things like that say the country and is in a bubble and the economy is in a bubble. And then there's a lot of data that says we are struggling and that job market is getting worse and inflation is higher. And we're about to do a rate cut. But the other interesting thing, anytime we've cut rates near record highs, we continue to average another 13% on the S&P 500.
Right.
We are currently 35 months into our current bull cycle. An average bull cycle will last 50 months.
Right.
And I think there's too much money on the side. There's whatever the
Right.
seven trillion in money market accounts that eventually is going to hit the stock market.
So my question to you is, isn't it, I hear the bubble talk, I hear all of it, but isn't it a valid explanation that simply there's still too much money to be invested and those companies are still the best place, one of the best places to invest. And that fact alone is just gonna, like, it's almost like but where else, where will all this money go? Sort of.
Yeah. And I think that the thing that I am most kind of interested in is if the S&P 500 were to drop 10% tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you buying?
If the S&P were to drop 10% tomorrow, am I buying? That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I'll be honest. I'll give you the honest answer is I buy essentially every month a little bit, no matter what. So I would still buy.
So you wouldn't increase or decrease?
Well, I don't know.
I'll give you what happened with me.
I'm trying to balance between content and the truth. The truth is no. I would just do what I keep doing, and that's just what would happen. For the sake of content, I still am incredibly bullish long term on the market. Maybe not on some other topics, but on the market, where else are you going? Where else are you putting money?
I haven't been really invested in the stock market in a very long time. I'm talking long time. And, most recently, any cash I had was in literally treasury bonds and municipal bonds. Right, and because I just, with kids and family, like citizen. I have no risk. Yeah.
Yeah.
In April of this year, we bought the S&P 500.
Yeah.
And did really well.
Yeah.
And
you're part of the 7.1 trillion.
Yeah. And so if the S&P went down 10, 20, 30%, blindly I'm buying. Blindly. I'm like,
yeah, I have no concern. It wouldn't concern me. It'd be a little annoying, but it wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think there's too many willing participants in a drawdown that will keep things. You may get a shock drop, which is what happened at the beginning of this year, and then
Right.
I mean we're like at like a record bounce from
Right.
all time
It's
perspective.
a crazy bounce.
Yeah.
I would, you know what, you're right, because in hindsight, yeah, on that last drawdown, I wish I would have bought even more like crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's just not, what's it going to, I don't know. Who knows? There's also a chance this doesn't age well, but I just think that there's too much money in the game now. I think I wasn't involved at all in the .com bubble or bust. So my opinion, you should take with a grain of salt, but like, I think it's very different now. And I think the amount of people and money invested in these things and in these different indexes and in these different, I just think it's a different ball game than what was happening then.
Yeah.
The amount of retirement accounts and the amount of money on the sidelines and the amount of, I just think it's different. I do have one gripe though, that I feel like I have to get out. Maybe I'm just in a pissed off mood because of the first conversation, but the thing that drives me nuts is that there's one side that, and I'm not even talking Democrat or Republican necessarily, even though it kind of correlates, is one side is participating in this 7.1 trillion of growth because they're playing the game, the American fucking business investing game. And the other group believes that all the CEOs of all these companies are evil, money is evil, billionaires are evil, and those people aren't playing the game. And I just think it's such a shame that we don't teach everyone how to play the game, because I think if everyone was involved in the game, you'd be a little bit more invested and optimistic and want to get involved in where things were going.
I think that's why I liked the initiative around giving $1,000 to every U.S. born citizen.
It's brilliant.
I think it's brilliant, and I think the only way to combat all this socialism is encourage investment. Like, we should encourage at this point. Like, why are we paying into Social Security? Let's all pay into the S&P 500 and let's rig it for ourselves. Literally rig it for ourselves.
Right.
Like, if everyone in America said, fuck investing into Social Security, we all invest into S&P 500, and at 65, you have a fucking pile of gold.
Yeah, literally.
Everyone's rich. Everyone's rich. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know one of the biggest challenges in France? I don't know if you saw this chart. The average French pensioner, meaning like a boomer that's on pension, makes more money than the average, like I think a millennial salary.
Right.
So
I get it.
These kids are going to become socialists because there's no other option. But if you flip it and say, by the way, if you're running for prime minister of France, you should also invest in the S&P 500, not the French fucking bullshit stock market. Every other country in the world should only invest in the S&P 500.
Right.
And because it's democratic and it's real. It's like, oh, you're doing well, Robinhood, you're in. You fucking UPS, get the fuck out. They're just kicking people out.
Right. It's just like, and I even know, I mean, I don't know how much you even want to talk about it, but you're pretty open about this stuff. Is like, even you, who's, decently smart. I don't want to get that new brain of yours all fired up. But no, very smart, very hardworking, has made, a lot of money over the years, sometimes more than others. But like, don't even you feel so much better looking at the last, 6 months of your growth of just the money you invested in the S&P versus like grinding every day for the next dollar? Yeah. Like, I know you're still doing both, but like, doesn't it just feel better? And it's like,
I'll tell you, just being real, like, it got me very optimistic that there's a path where the dynamic shifts, where I don't work for money, the money works for me. And that is actually a real possibility.
Yeah.
In the very near future.
Yeah.
And if that happens, honestly, like, I love working, and I want to see like all the fruits of my labor come to fruition, and I want to always work probably. Like I don't see a
Right.
world where I'm not motivated to not work. But
Right.
man, if I could have a little bit more free time to spend with my
Right.
family, I would do it in a fucking second. And money
Yeah.
gives you that freedom. Nothing else.
100%. And it's also just like approaching your life from the standpoint of like, I get to work as opposed to I have to work.
Yes.
And I think that's totally different.
Yeah.
And I think it affects your health, and I think it affects everything for every person. And I even have friends who are, don't make a lot of money, but they have gotten into investing in the last year a lot because of group chat, and like seeing them be excited about a potential, paycheck to be able to invest it, not to buy like a watch or something, or like whatever the thing would be. And like to just continue to add to this thing and to start to see like, damn, I could have $1 million if I, did this, or I have this win coming up. I can't wait to invest it. Like, it's just a different thing that I also think makes you more literally invested in the future of, positive outcomes.
Yeah. 100%. I'm very optimistic. That's why like the stock market fear of Wall Street on traditional. Here's the biggest shift. I'll tell you why I'm not afraid of what all the Wall Street pundits, these experts are saying. There is so much retail money now that is dictating the stock market. And it's happening with individual stocks. It's happening with overall sentiment in the market. And hedge funds, they don't give a shit about anything but making money. So if they feel like, oh, fuck it, everyone's just going to keep pumping money in S&P 500, then why not all of us pump money into the S&P 500?
Right.
Like
it's just like a snowball.
Yes, exactly. Like they're not going to fight it. They're just going to make money off of it. They're just going to accelerate it. And it's just like, oh, you're going to put $1 in, we're going to put 100. You're going to put 100, we're going to put 10 million. It's like
100%.
And
that's why I think, I think these analysts and pundits are great, I guess, but they're just more like you're trained to just like look at PE ratios and does this make sense and fundamentals and all this shit. And I love that. And that's great. But there is a whole other side to it that I also think that these snowballs also give all of these truly great companies more money to evolve and innovate and find new reasons to justify it. And I also think that matters. And I don't think it's as easy as fundamentals and PE ratios. And I just don't think it's that. And I think there's way more money in the market and way more people in the market than the .com bubble. And I think it's a totally new reality. And you can't keep trying to, it's like trying to compare everyone to Michael Jordan. It's a different time. He has different opponent. It's a different thing.
Yeah,
it's just different.
It's different. There's way too much money now. It's just too much money. Like, can you get a 30% drawdown? Yeah, I think you can. Like, if you told me the S&P 500 went down 30% in the next 6 months, it's possible. Yeah. But it's going to rip back.
Bro, every time you look at it, every time it's fallen off a cliff in the last, I don't know, 10 years, it's ripped back. I mean, ripped though. Like, 08, I know was like kind of rough for a while. Like it has ripped right back the moment you get, because all these motherfuckers have so much cash. They're like, oh shit, it's on sale today. And it just rips right back.
Yeah. I love it.
It just kills me. I think the end of my thought is, like I said, it kills me that like we started the episode with such negative and just like terrible, evil mindset of like literally destruction and death and tearing apart. And then you read like, oh, and by the way, US household net worth jumped 7 trillion in Q2. It's like, man, there's so much like building and growth and positivity happening in the same world where there's death and destruction and negativity. And it just choose the right side, Kathy's. I guess that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Is that it?
Great. Fantastic. I think we have a couple shout outs.
Great chat.
Great chat. Not even group chat. Great chat.
Great chat. We're going to change the name.
All right. The first one is from @DiorDon2682. In April, you guys chatted about seeing how the tariffs are affecting things by September. Would love to hear that topic get revisited when the three of you are together on the pod. Great. We'll do that next episode.
That's good. Yeah, we can remind. Anand, I think, was the main driver of that. So we'll remind a great idea.
At Lance H9681. Hope everything went well with the surgery, D.
I mean, that
Going
sounds
great.
like that sounds like a hit of oxygen right there.
Yeah, I could be a sommelier.
Have you picked up any new scents by any chance?
No, I can't smell anything.
Okay, great.
First one's from Charlie. What's up, brothers? This is Charlie Thomas, number one fan since the beginning, and also the third
Charlie.
Spend Reckless winner.
That's right.
Yeah,
Charlie
I remember that. That was awesome. Also did a few projects with Drama and the guys up at the office. Can't thank you guys enough for everything and the unlimited advice and convos from the pod. Hope all is well. Always tuning in and listening. And soon I'd love to come catch up. So much has happened since the last time I've been back to LA. Super stoked to come back out soon. Blessing to the squad. Drama, Anand, and Dee. I would love to hear your update, Charlie. Let us know.
Yeah, Charlie, holler at us. I mean, I see Charlie still like, he's like active on social media. He's showing love.
That's amazing.
Love Charlie.
That's great. Shout out to the grandmas and grandpas making this life possible for us millennials, having kids and owning homes.
There, yeah. I bet you that 7.1 trillion all went to boomers. So,
well, I'm going to shout out my in-laws because I got a new water filtration system under my sink this weekend because of my father-in-law. He bought it and installed it. Yeah.
Oh, look at you, man. You're gonna be a whole new guy. You got oxygen and clean water, man. You're making, you're making moves.
Get me out of Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, you're living in Flint over there. You are definitely a beneficiary of the boomer boom.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay,
that's it. That's all we got.
That's it. Well, everybody, thank you for listening.
Please. Anand, happy birthday. We missed his birthday. We didn't record on Wednesday.
We did on the pod. Yeah, you're right. Happy birthday, Anand. Obviously, we all talked to him personally, but for as far as the pod goes, happy birthday, Anand.
He's
that's where he is, right? He's out traveling.
He's out celebrating his birthday.
Nice. Okay. Happy birthday, Anand. Hope it's a great one. And Kathy's, stay on the positive side. That's all I got for you this week. You can choose your path, and either way, like Dee said, that's truly true. You can choose your path, and either way, you're going to find a group. You're going to find a community on either one. Choose the positive community.
It's nice over here.
It is. We love it. We can breathe well. Well, one of us can, and things are looking up, and we got filtered water. All right, everyone have a great week. Peace.